Hey, today I wanted to take a moment and just kind of review some numbers I just reviewed with a client who's looking at locking in an interest rate. And, we started to discuss points, discount points, very common conversation that we have with clients when it's time to lock in a rate or when they're getting pre-approved. The reality is that in mortgages, the more you pay in fees the day of closing, the lower the interest rate that you can lock in. And so here is the example that I reviewed with this client. So I showed him an option here that was no points, one with one discount point, and one with a no-cost loan. So you can see the interest rate is different across the board here, and that sometimes is very confusing if it's not properly explained. So you can see the amount due at closing also changes pretty significantly. So let's talk about what a point is. A point equals one discount point. One discount point equals 1% of the loan amount. So on a $480,000 loan, one discount point is $4,800 extra in fees. And so you can see that here. The amount due at closing when you go from no points to one discount point goes up by about $4,800. And then also on a no-cost loan, which is a slightly higher interest rate, the amount goes actually down by about $4,800. So let's look at that relationship. If we click here and kind of look at that closing cost breakdown, we can see that, with no points, of course, it's zero in this column, 1 point is 4,800, and this says negative 4,800, okay? So the way points work, if you decide to pay one discount point when it's time to lock in the rate, you will typically permanently buy down the interest rate 0.25%. So that 0.25% reduction in interest rate saves you about $72 per month. So when does it make sense to do that? We have to do some break-even math on that and really look at it, not just at the rate, but how long will it take you to recuperate based on those monthly savings, that $4,800. So a very oversimplified calculation is just to take a calculator and do $4,800. Does it make sense to subtract an extra $4,800 from your checking account the day of closing to save $72 per month? That break even is about 68 months. So it's always right around 6 years. So that means you are giving the bank $4,800 on closing day, and they're slowly giving it back to you over the next 6 years. And at the 6-year mark, all you have is your $4,800 back. You haven't really saved anything. So when we look at some long-term or short-term analysis here, this is how we can help our clients decide, if it makes sense to look at paying points. So if we look at, let's say, a 5-year time frame, at a 5-year time frame, we can start to see that, paying the points can start to make sense already because you're paying a lower interest rate, a little bit more money towards principal each month. If we look at an extreme example, which is 1 month, well, if we look at it over 1 month, then the no-cost loan makes the most sense, because if you were going to get rid of the loan 1 month into it, why spend all of these extra fees on paying points or paying closing costs at all, when all you're doing is making a higher payment, by $70 just for a month. So if we look at the other extreme example, 30 years, we can see that paying the discount point does pay off. It saves you $41,000 over the no-cost option and about $20,000 over the no points option. So it's just really important to make sure we look at it and do an analysis. And so we do this. This is called a total cost analysis for all of our clients when they're locking in, so that they can look at these all this data they could use to make a good decision. If you have any questions or want me to build an analysis for you, please reach out. We would be glad to help, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.